Alright guys, so in my video today, we're just going to do a quick NFL recap of Sunday's games. Let's get into the video. Starting off our Thursday night game, the Dolphins beat the Ravens 22-10. We're just going to look through the status real quick and move on to the next matches. So, the Ravens dominated total yards 304. Now they lost the yardage game 304 to 350. They lost in the rushing yards 210 to 290. And the only stat that they won at is rushing yards. Alright, get on next game. The Saints lost to the Titans. Trevor Siemian had 2 touchdowns. Ryan Tannehill just 1. Stats: Saints 1 total yards. They won the passing yard game. They won the rushing yard game. And they dominated on per pass play. So the Saints should have won this game, but the Titans outlasted them. And after the Saints game, you got the Bills dominating the Jets 45-17. Josh Allen, 366 yards, torched the Jets secondary with 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. Jets Mike White, 4 interceptions to only 1 touchdown. Jets get dominated on total yards. Passing yards dominated, as rushing yards and yards per play was all dominated by the team that blew them out 28-0. Going on to our next game, you got the tie game. Your Detroit Lions will not be going 0-17. They will not be the first franchise, as obviously they got the tie today. Jared Goff, super inefficient, 114 yards, 0 touchdowns. Steelers, Mason Rudolph. He was a little bit more efficient, but not by much. 242 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 TD, a 30/50 completion percentage, which is really bad. Total yards is all by the Steelers. Passing yards, Steelers dominate. The rushing yard. No. The reason why Detroit tied was because of the rushing yards, which is 229 rushing yards, the first time that's ever happened to the Steelers since I think it was 1993. Yards per play. They also lost that to the Steelers. So the Lions, Steelers tie. Go on to the Colts and the Bucks. We're going to go to the stats real quick. Jaguars 330 yards, 152 yards. Colts 168 yards, 127 yards. Rushing yards per play was dominated by the Jaguars, but the Colts did more in passing yards than the Jags. Both teams 0 touchdowns. Move on to this game. You got the Baker Mayfield, 1 interception, 73 yards, while the Patriots had 4 touchdowns, 198 yards. Brandon Hoyer, back up, one touchdown, 85 yards. Alright, after that game, you had the Cowboys dominating the Falcons 43-3. In this game, Matt Ryan, 117 yards, 2 picks. Both quarterbacks, no touchdowns. Dak Prescott, 2 TDs. The rest, 17 yards for Cooper Rush and Zeke Elliott, with 4 by a passing one. 431 yards, Cowboys. 217 yards, 114 yards, all dominated by the Cowboys. Panthers versus Cardinals. Panthers 5-5, Cardinals 8-2. Backup Colt McCoy, 1 touchdown. 1 interception, 0 touchdowns. The Cardinals get dominated in total passing yards. 341 rushing yards, 175, 166 rushing yards. And the yards per attempt was also dominated all by the Panthers. Moving on to the Vikings game. Kirk Cousins, 2 touchdowns, 294 yards. Completion percentage, 37.25 percentage. Justin Herbert, 20 out of 34 percentage. Less effective. Less touchdowns, 1 TD and 1 interception. The Vikings dominated in total yards, 381. Passing yards, rushing yards, yards per play, 5.3, 103, 278, all dominated by the Vikings. Moving on, we got the Packers shutting out the Seahawks for the first time, ending their streak at, I think it was 17 games. Russell Wilson, 2 interceptions, 20 out of 40, very ineffective. Aaron Rodgers not doing any better after COVID. 23, 37, complete interception, more yards, less interceptions, but no TDs. Packers dominated, 293 in total yards, 287 passing yards, rushing yards, 106, all dominated by the Packers. Moving on, you got the Eagles versus the Denver Broncos. Jalen Hurts, 201, 179 yards, 16 out of 23 yards. Passing completion, Teddy Bridgewater, not any better, less effective, 22 out of 36. Completion percentage, and a little bit more yards per play with 226. Eagles dominated in total yards, 386. 172 passing yards, a loss to Teddy Bridgewater in that category. 214 rushing yards, 96. 60 yards per play to 506. That's a 301 advantage to the Broncos. Alright, moving on. This game is in halftime right now. So we will just go through the stats as we go by. Patrick Mahomes, 198 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions out of this one, and at 28 completion percentage will go up as the game further goes on. It will either go up or down. Derek Carr, 62 yards, 1 touchdown, 9 out of 11, a little bit less effective, but hasn't thrown that much. 241 yards, total yards, 199 passing yards, 55, 43, 27, 6.2 yards per play, all dominated by the Chiefs. Moving on, for tomorrow's game, I'm just going to do a quick prediction or preview for this one. This game hasn't started, but this is going to wrap up my NFL weekly analysis or recap, however you want to do this. So I ain't going to be recording this game or anything, so I'm just going to give you my predictions and win. Alright, so for this game, I got the 49ers losing to the Los Angeles Rams. Got the 49ers winning. I got the Los Angeles Rams beating the 49ers 17-14. I got the Rams winning. I got Matthew Stafford 2 touchdowns and a solid 1 touchdown for Jimmy G, as they will lose this game. And that will be my preview for this game. And I would say for passing yards, 200 yards for Matthew Stafford. And then I would say for Jimmy Garoppolo, 182 yards. So that will be my preview for that game since it hasn't started. I'll see you in the next video. If you guys like my recap, make sure to like and subscribe. We'll see you later in my next video. Peace.